Welcome to Aapki Dost. I'm your dost Rajshri. So let me tell you about today's topic. Today's topic is benefits of failure. Yes, you heard it right. Usually, whenever failure comes to us, we become very confused. We feel that this is the end of the world, and such things crop up that puts you to usually this is what happens. But let me tell you this, unless you know failure, how will you know the real taste of success? So failure is very inevitable, and we have so many instances of great people who've gone through a failure and later on they have tasted success, hasn't it? So let me talk about myself. I was a person who was scared of English language as such. When I was at school, I never opened my mouth because I felt that what if I utter something and people laugh at me? So that kept me stopped. That kept me away from even trying. But later on, I realized that I was good at writing English. I only got to know when I looked at my answer sheets, when my teacher would write a good, and I would be amazed. Okay, I'm not that bad. However, I never tried to even speak a word. Later on, I realized that somewhere in me, I had this in me that failure is not bad. All right, because at one point of time at my school, one of my teachers ridiculed me for my what do I say, for my inability to express myself in English. So later on, with that challenge, I would say she with that was a challenge. I took that as a challenge. Of course, for a child who was in seventh standard or so, it was an insult. I must admit that at that time I really was very low, and I realized I felt that I was an utter failure because as it is I was too quiet and I couldn't express myself in English. So I thought, okay, this is done, it's over. However, after when I got a new teacher, I was thrilled because she was somebody who never took my quietness to be a bad thing. Because being quiet is not a bad thing. I'll do an episode on that as well. However, so once I realized that I was okay in English, I tried my luck at writing. So I would write, I would express my thoughts in English, I would write. Then what happened was, once I entered my degree college, I had a chance to speak. So that's when I realized that I could really express myself. I was expressing myself so well. Then I understood that, and later on I also felt that, okay, I have to become a teacher, and thus I became a teacher. So that motivated me, and the motivation was that I had to help students who have a problem with speaking English. And I'm proudly I say this, that I can, and I do motivate students who are very shy. So that is an accomplishment, I feel. So not on a big scale, but then I'm trying my bit. So that wasn't a failure. That was a learning step, I would say. Maybe that teacher of mine wanted to motivate me. Maybe that method was wrong. So I don't judge her. Yes, so failure is definitely a step towards success. So today, I'm good at expressing myself. I express myself in English, the language that I was really scared of. I took up an MA in English. So you can imagine that how something that comes in your life, that poses as a threat and becomes a solid foundation later on in your life. So I would really thank that teacher for being bad to me that day, because that helped me to help myself, that I would say. So failure is definitely a good thing, I see, right? Because it makes you meet the person who you really are, because that's when you understand what kind of a person you are, what is the metal that you're really made of, isn't it? So I would say that Failure definitely helps you in many things. You understand others, you can motivate others, because if somebody else is going through that phase, you can definitely help them, right? So uh, failure definitely helps you, and you have so many people around us, who have shown this to us. So failure isn't bad. So if something bad happens to you, think in your mind that, okay, this is a testing time, so let me go through this, okay? Because after that you really meet your success. So don't be in a hurry to be successful all the time, because once in a while we need to meet our friend failure, because failure is the one that really teaches you, what kind of person you are, really. So I would say, welcome failure. If you're too cautious about something, what will happen is, you don't understand what life is as such. So I would say failure is definitely, this was only one example. We all have so many examples, right, where you really tasted failure, and then when you attain success, you feel really good about yourself, right? So uh, my only suggestion to you is, please don't say no to failure and try to live your lives too cautiously, right? So you must listen to J.K. Rowling's speech as well, where she talks about the benefits of failure, right? Like how she really fought uh, all the barriers, and today you know what kind of a success she enjoys, isn't it? So she had a bad childhood, right? And she went through a bad marriage, then a divorce, then poverty, right? But she never gave up. So that's the perseverance that everybody should need. So I think we have so many people around us who teach us that. And you also share your stories, where you had to meet failure and then you tasted success. However, even if you're going through failure right now, don't lose your heart. Keep working on yourself, because you can't change others, you can't change the situations. You can only, what do I say, change your response, as I say, right? So take care of yourselves. Have a great day. So please share, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.